All right, guys, this is going to be an explanation of our brand new click-through feature. We spent a lot of time developing this around the demand in the industry and through our Smarter Contact customers that have been asking for an improvement in the delivery rates, that have been asking to see even a higher delivery score on the messages they send out. So we spent a lot of time even improving on the existing infrastructure to make sure that we're getting an even higher delivery rate. And some of you guys that might not be familiar with the system, we do require you to click through each message that you send out within Smarter Contact. And the reason for that is by having a manual intervention between each message, it actually allows you to be compliant with the TCPA. So getting right into it, you would load up your campaign the same way you normally would. And once you get to this screen, we made some recent adjustments that's going to improve the flow of how this all works and how this looks. So first you'll see once you name your campaign. So here we'll name it here, test and send campaign. And once you do that, you'll see this option that'll allow you to select the messages, right? So you'll be able to select the messages right here on the spot. And here's a good rule of thumb. If you have a large list, we're going to require you to have at least 8 messages. But a good rule of thumb is for every 50 messages, for every 50 texts you're going to send out, you should have 1 message that you use. So just keep that in mind. And then for a large list, let's say you have like thousands of messages that you're sending out, we're going to require a minimum of 8 templates. We recommend more, but you can certainly exceed that, and the more the better. What we find is there's variety. A lot of carriers, a lot of other providers, they have issues sending out certain words. We've tested across the board. Certain words do go through, so you don't have issues with that on our platform. But what we realize, it's variety. When you keep using the same text message every single time from the same phone number, carriers pick up on it. But we've done the science, we've done the research. We know that it's not what you say. I mean, it's a portion of what you say. I mean, it does have a factor into it, but it's more so the rotation. That's the science behind this. So what we do is we have an algorithm that in the background is once you select it, it has certain variations of each message. It has different numbers to each, and it's pretty advanced. I wouldn't really explain all that in this video. But for your purposes, simply select the number set here, and you can certainly exceed it. So if it says 4, select 4 or more. If it says 8, select 8 or more, and the more the better. Also, an advanced tip, one thing that we've just seen through history of sending out these messages is every week or two, go into your message templates and just make very slight tweaks. You know, if you can change a word like buying to interested, or change the structure every week or two, keep it fresh, because if you're using the same number with the same text, eventually the carriers are gonna catch on. That's the science. That's really the key to this here. So just keep that in mind. And for a large list, you are going to need 8 templates. And then the system is going to auto switch for you. So it's going to go through and do the auto switching on your behalf. So here I'm going to click through my 4. I can even do 5. And very simple. And I'm going to go ahead and click through. Very simple here. Keep in mind, you can go back and forth if you want. But if you go back, you know, and reorder, for example, just keep in mind you're going to start over from 1. So just keep that in mind here. And the system is going to auto switch for you on your behalf. So going through, and here it's going to switch for you on your behalf randomly. So gone are the days of sending the same message over and over. And this should definitely improve your deliverability rate. So some key tips that I really recommend. Number 1 is once you're done, you send your message template, go to your reporting section and look at the messages you sent. We have the metrics by reporting. So each message that you send, you'll be able to see how many carrier blocks were on it, if it happened. And then you can just do the tracking based on that. And the second thing we recommend is the export. Down below here in this area, you can export the file to see any numbers that were blocked or unblocked. It's just another great way for you to track your leads as well. All right, and that's pretty much it. So once you've gone through the messages at the very end, you'll be able to hit a final confirmation. And keep in mind, you can always change the message halfway through. So if at any point you preview it and it's not something you want, you can change it. This is exactly how the recipient's going to receive it. So just keep that in mind. So just as a recap on the pro tips, especially, they're really important. You want to have the minimum amount of templates set. So for every 50, you want to have a template. The more, the better. Also, a huge pro tip to make sure you have a really high deliverability rate is every 1 to 2 weeks, go into your messages and just make a slight tweak. You don't have to rearrange it completely. And then also your 8 messages that you have, we require you to have 8 total messages filled out. But each one of those should be different. Don't just make it the same message with one with a period and the next one without. They're too close. So have a little bit of variety there. Maybe switch the order up, switch how they're going out. These are really the big things. Again, I'm going to stress on this. When we've done the research, these keywords that some of these other platforms aren't having issues delivering, we get them through. It's not the keywords. It's the variety and the patterns of sending out these messages. We've done the data science. So just trust the numbers behind it and do the legwork every 1 or 2 weeks. Keep your messages a little bit fresh. And then the improvements we've done in the back end will do most of the legwork for you. This is the difference between Smarter Contact and anything else, is what's under the hood. So trying to think of other things to give you that will be valuable. It's not really too much. I think it's pretty simple. If you haven't already, also keep in mind the numbers that you're using. So the phone setup training video is extremely important. So we also have a video trained around that, about how to optimize the numbers you're using, how to make sure you have enough in your phone setup screen. So anyways, guys, hope that was helpful. We've put a lot of time into building this, so this should improve your deliverability rates. And I'll look forward to your success. Take care.